Hang on, sense of purpose.
Lack of resources?
Yeah.
Hang on, sense of purpose, lack of resource, boredom,
Bad housing.
poor housing, boredom, low self-esteem and confidence.
Gender imbalance issues.
Gender issues.
What are the absolutely core themes that we want to focus the Winch on? Because I think if we can name them, then I think it increases our chances no end of coming up with the core focus and the core story.
No one ever says, I'm going to reach the sky, I'm just being realistic. It's difficult because we do have to be realistic in the sense that it's not fair on people if we paint pictures that are not achievable.
It's not an overnight job, and I think that's what we've realised. A lot of people want quick success, and quick success, sometimes people think 2-3 years, but it is sort of, this is showing us right that the end product is there, but it will be way down the line.
I was like, I want to raise money for the Winch. They were like, how are you going to do that? So within that week, I had to plan, me and my friend, how we're going to do it, where we're going to get the money, and where we're going to buy the ice cream, and what we're going to sell. So I thought, oh, ice cream is going to be hot,
And that time I used to have a questionnaire, and I asked everyone questions of, how would you like to improve the Winch? Would you like to do this? So that helped out with the kind of getting started. 2 years ago, it's got that vibe where, no, the Winch is not making anything. It's not going to actually get better improvements. Every time we'd go, like we'd hear, yeah, it's going to change, it's going to fix up. And then it wouldn't happen, and it wouldn't happen. And then everyone kind of thought, we're waiting and waiting and waiting.
New York!
Well, just to see how it's doing over here, do you know what I'm saying? Because London and New York are very similar in so many ways, but very different. Elaborate on that one.
We're at 50-second project.
50-second, yeah, 50-second. You hear that, yeah? 50-second. Not 51, 50-second.
We work with a smaller number of kids, but we go very deep. We spend a lot of time with them. Every program that the kids do, there's at least one adult for every kid, and there are some programs where there are 3 adults for each kid. Everybody belongs. Everybody gets along. The kid is at the center of the process. Every kid has creative gifts. And that's revolutionary for a kid that walks in here, and then we say, we want to see you, we want to hear you. We want you to be seen, you can be heard.
But if you go somewhere like 52nd Street, you're not working to what the young people, to an extent, loads of what they want to do. Don't get me wrong, they have a general common thing, oh, we like theatre and whatnot. Then what about everything else?
And I get it, it's creative and it's good for the child, but I don't think there should be so many boundaries as to like who gets in.
Some of them might come every day, a lot of them might come to a football tournament. So we're really inclusive, but are we really effective?
Trying to hail a cab.
We've just been to Red Hook Youth Justice system. Well, it's definitely a good thing what they got going on here. I think maybe to try and do that back home would be a bit difficult and whatnot, but I think if we was able to do that in something like the borough of Camden, I think it would work wonders.
It was so inspiring and so wow to see how successful this project has actually been.
Give them opportunities to change their lives, but done in a respectful and a two-way relationship. And the fact that they have, prominent people on board in high positions who have power. If we wanted to take something back, it would be to try and initiate and build a relationship with maybe, a judge.
We are now in a yellow taxi. So am I.
We do a lot of marketing here as well. So we have our own chocolate bars. All the programs at the Girls Club are free because we want to be able to provide programs for girls who maybe can't afford other programs.
And this bakery helps to kind of supplement that. Also learn business skills as well as culinary skills. So,
Katrina, you better take a photo of these hats.
Right here, lady.
Can't see these hats, Rebecca.
Right here, lady. Oh my days, they're amazing.
Blinking things and lights and,
yeah.
You know,
yeah.
That's all I think about. Last year we built a 14-foot girl robot. Planetariums are not just for astronomy and stars. You can make all kinds of programs. You want to get the word out. You don't want to just sit and say, I've got a great idea and I'm doing a good job, but you got to get the word out and everybody's got to know you're doing a great job. So you just crazy ideas. They stick in people's minds.
Oh, a planetarium. I was a bit confused about that because he said that's his pet project. So it was like, does he want a planetarium or did the young people want a planetarium?
I feel it most sort of emulated the Winch for me in the fact of them very much being a family, but also it was some, you know, it was kind of like, you know, for years. It wasn't like somewhere where they just, you go, take part in a program and you come away. It's actually something that's there. And for me, the Girls Club was really great, and I could see that happening at the Winch.
Well, make your noggin out of there until you recite what's on that screen. We're calculating his villainy rating now. And it is mischievous. Go forth, hero, and remember well the lessons you've learned here today.
And they opened the store and they found out that it was kind of awesome because it would bring kids in, it would bring volunteers in. You know, this is our superhero store. We open the bookcase and they're all, you know, it creaks in that way that it creaks, and they're little first graders, so they're really excited. We have this writing center, but we're also a publishing company. And the store, believe it or not, makes up about a quarter of our budget. This is one program we did one summer where we had 9 high school students writing novels.
It was wicked! Do you know, when I first heard about it, I thought it was going to be really bad. But it was amazing. It was so fun to be in. I think it was cool. And it opens up and then it's just like another world in there.
Yeah, I think it was good.
They really, like the people, the volunteers and stuff, they really thought, like as a child, like what would get people to come and what would motivate them to work, and like just like the fact that they made everything look so professional. I was really impressed.
It was beautiful, and it was also the place we had the most fun.
Yes. Really positive thing to bring back to the Winch. Bringing in income in terms of like retail or having a little cafe or having a little shop.
We don't want you to be sitting on your stoop, nothing to do, because stuff happens. That's the way it works in New York City. Folks who give money, they love data. But they don't like random data. They like data that adds up to something. And we do that to hold ourselves accountable and to make sure that we're improving and delivering what we promise. You best have the best show there is, or you don't have a job here. Right? That's the mentality we have. We're doing the best job, not just for the fundraising, because the people who we're giving the service to, they deserve the best.
You know, that it's worth, you know, if a business needs to be run so carefully to make it successful, why can't you do that for kids? Yeah. I like that. You know, a lot of being successful in this about is refusing to give up. You know, whatever it takes. You know, whatever it takes, the children are worth it. We're just going to keep at it, you know?
We have to get real about what inclusion means and what exclusion means. Whether we focus what we have on a smaller number of young people and children and seek to have a much larger impact, or whether we stay true to some of our more open door ideals, but ultimately compromise on the difference that we make. It's also about taking a really comprehensive approach, thinking about every need and working out what that looks like if we're serious about making a difference. We need to be in some way accountable, and that means committed to understanding whether we are delivering our mission. And that's a huge commitment when your mission is something which feels quite intangible. but it is something that we can't be complacent about. Until we came back from Harlem, I don't think we had any idea of the scope of what we were trying to achieve at the Winch, what that might look like, what sort of effort that might take.